Imagine battling a virus that not only threatens your lungs, but is also quietly worsening the second leading factor of deaths in the United States. Now, according to Medical News Today, over 113% of overweight people were more likely to be hospitalized during the pandemic. Obesity is described as having a body mass index of over 30, and for reference, the average BMI is 20. In 2017, the CDC reported that 42.4% of US adults were obese. America tends to struggle with obesity more than other countries due to factors such as unwalkable cities, higher calorie foods typically being cheaper, and the abundance of sedentary or inactive lifestyle jobs. COVID-19 didn't just target the obese, it fueled obesity itself. Today, we'll examine how Americans dealt with stress due to the pandemic, as well as the pandemic's effects on adolescents and the healthcare system. Emotional eating contributed significantly to the pandemic as Americans tried coping with new stress and isolation because of COVID-19. As people faced increased anxiety, many turned to food as a quick comfort and distraction. The National Institute of Health states that during the pandemic, emotional dysregulation was found, and in response, emotional eating was observed. Along with this, more and more time was being spent at home, and it became harder to not gain weight when snacking was so easily accessible. The New York Times did a study where 33% of Americans reported that they gained weight at the beginning of the pandemic as a response to stress levels because of the pandemic. Now that we have this concept in mind, let's examine how adolescents gained weight through quarantining. Adolescents averaged gaining 19 pounds in the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic due to lack of physical school. Without the routine of PE, sports, or recess, students became sedentary. In fact, studies show that students often gain weight just from summer break. Medical News Today states that the closure of schools during summer months is directly linked to students becoming obese and gaining weight. Now, summer break is just a 3-month-long period compared to quarantining, which lasted over an entire year. Researchers have found that students searching for entertainment spent an average of 8 hours a day in front of screens and on social media. Now, with this lack of physical activity, as well as abundance of snacking at home, it became very hard for growing children and students not to gain weight at an excessive pace. Additionally, many students lost access to national feeding programs provided by schools that provided balanced meals such as breakfasts and lunches. The National Institute of Health estimates that 60% of students all over America benefit from these national feeding programs. With these two concepts in mind, it's clear to see how the healthcare system became strained quickly. Professionals have said that the healthcare system was strained during COVID-19 due to COVID-19, but also the prevalence of obesity that increased hospitalization rates. People struggling with obesity were at a much higher rate of developing respiratory issues because of the fatal virus. Those who were struggling with obesity had the option of going out and seeking weight-related help while potentially risking catching the fatal COVID-19 virus, or on the other hand, the other option was staying home and suffering from obese-related diseases. In fact, 30 to 50% of people who struggled the most in hospitals with COVID-19 were obese patients. This graph behind me represents roughly 300,000 people in England during spring 2020. It pictures hospitalization rates per 10,000 admissions. As you can see, the category with the biggest number of hospitalized patients were those with type 2 obesity patients. Tempus researchers state that most people cited their fear from contracting COVID-19. Along with this, many people reported that their weight-related appointments were canceled or rescheduled during the pandemic. According to Northwestern Medicine, necessary care was neglected because of this. Now that we understand these three concepts, it's clear to see how a new light of obesity was shown through COVID-19. COVID-19 increased obesity rates through emotional eating, adolescents gaining weight through quarantining, as well as lifestyle disruptions. Along with this, the healthcare system was strained, which truly sheds the new light of obesity through COVID-19. Although many lives were saved through quarantining from COVID-19, it simultaneously increased obesity rates. Thank you.